coaches being unselfish, sharing the basketball. These guys, there's been no selfish or, one-on-one plays tonight. Great team basketball.
Well, they're going to be asking a lot of Kevin Porter Jr. this year. They really want him to become a true facilitator, get everyone involved. And last year was the first time that he had played point. Went down to the G League to learn to play point, came back into the NBA and was terrific in the second half of last season. Green, long two.
Excellent read there. If the bigs don't step up, Jalen's going to take that shot all night long.
Dinwiddie attacks and scores.
A little late there from Christian's going to have to be in better position. Dinwiddie, even after the ACL, is going to play downhill and attack the rim.
Porter stepping back in the corner. That one dances off to Beal. Beal going to work, penetrating on Green, gets to the cup and finishes with a left hand. And the game is now tied at 9. Green to Tice, rolling, stuffing.
I can't tell you how impressed I am with Jalen tonight. Not his scoring, not that attack on the rim, but his passing and playmaking. He's really looking for Wood and Tice.
Rockets 5 made shots, 4 assists. And that's kickball.
The one thing about, Daniel Tice you see already is solidifying the defense. You saw him switch out on Kyle Kuzma a couple plays ago, getting in and doing the dirty work and rebounding. And I love these additions. Now you're seeing a small lineup. House comes in, Jae'Sean Tate comes in, and you're going to really look to push the pace even more with Wood playing the 5 now.
House is healthy, which is important. Just 36 games last year for him. And Jae'Sean Tate has been tremendous in training camp. And there's Kispert with the knockdown. He was the 15th pick in the draft. After 4 years at Gonzaga, was a consensus first-team All-American last year as that one sails out of bounds. And that will lead us to our first timeout. Game is tied at 11, but Daniel Tice and Jalen Green, 2 of the newest Rockets, hooking up for that play.
Yeah, it's very different. I feel more comfortable as far as the group. I know who's going to be here. I have a great relationship with Tillman and Rafael, and they've done such a great job of putting this team together this season. So we have a direction. We're building, we're growing. I'm so excited about the future, but I'm excited about the now and starting training camp and getting to work and watching them get better and all of that. So putting it all together, it does feel like the foundation is more solid than it was when last year started, for sure.
Stephen waited almost 2 decades to get an opportunity to become an NBA head coach. He gets one, and then as I said earlier, everything that could go wrong last year did go wrong. He has to be just breathing a sigh of relief that he's starting with a full and new sort of empty slate with this team. And an opportunity to sort of mold a very young group.
You're absolutely right, Craig. Putting his imprint on a group is extremely important, and these kids definitely need it.
Look at Porter, nice little move there along the baseline, going right at Aaron Holiday, who's in a game.
That's what great scorers do. You play as good a defense as you can, and KP Scoot just turns and shoots right over the defense.
Holiday skipped it off to Kuzma. Back across, nearly stolen by KPJ.
Great job there, KPJ. Not overly committing. Watch Scoot. And this is what the luxury of playing him at point guard. He's going to have a mismatch every time down the floor. Great job of Coach Silas rolling it right into the post. Gets an easy look and getting it done on the defensive end also.
And here comes former Rocket Montrezl Harrell into the game. Part of that trade coming over from the Lakers. He has been as good as it gets in this league coming off the bench the last couple of years. High energy guy Kuzma, and Beal got it off, thought he got fouled, no whistle. Wood attacking the rookie, spinning and dropping it up and in.
Excellent patience there by Christian Wood. Normally, bigs may get a little out of control, but fleet of foot.
Not him.
An incredible finish there.
Yeah, he's super skilled, as we saw last year. The key is you got to keep this guy upright. Skid pass, corner three, Beal, no. House with the rebound.
Sigh of relief there, Brad. A former teammate of mine doesn't miss too many open looks.
Good move by House, threw it up, missed it, followed no, got it back. Third time was the charm.
Craig, you talk about that pace at training camp. You know, if you see one-on-one, you want to attack your man and get downhill and space for open looks. Great job from House.
Rockets have scored 6 in a row. We got a whistle, I believe it was prior to the shot. It's going to go against Jalen Green.
You know what I really love from what Coach Silas is doing? Look at Christian Wood taking his time there, fleet of foot, giving it, let him know he's too small. If you guys are going to help, I'm going to finish up and over the defense. But what I like here from Coach Silas, Jalen Green has gone right over to guard Bradley Beal. You know, take his lumps early, especially here in the preseason. And you're going to see with that athleticism, he's going to be a heck of a defender once he adds and grows some strength.
Davis Bertans into inbounds. Raul Neto also in. Got fouled on his way to the cup, and he will go to the free throw line. You know, Davis Bertans, you know, the Texans have a rookie quarterback, Davis Mills, right?
Yes.
I keep wanting to call him Davis Mills because of Davis Bertans. And I have to keep catching myself and say his name is Davis, not Davis.
Craig, I can't see you making a mistake like that, Craig. Not you, Craig.
Rockets over the limit. Don't miss the Rockets home opener on October the 22nd as they take on the Thunder. The first 10,000 fans will receive light-up batons courtesy of Toyota. Bun B, Slim Thug, and Paul Wall will also debut the new Light the Fuse Rockets anthem. Tickets start at just $15 at Rockets.com. Jalen Green checking out. David Nwaba checking in. Nwaba's another player who has looked terrific in training camp. He's healthy, and I've always been a huge, you weren't obviously with us last year, but I've always been a huge fan of David and his game, and I'm glad he's in Houston, and more importantly, he is healthy, and he will be a contributor to this group.
Well, you've got arguably our best outside of Tice defensive lineup on the floor here. KP can't get that one, though. Excellent look, though, but you got Nwaba, you got Jay Sean, you got to have House on the floor. Incredibly switchable lineup right now.
Neto on the switch, get past to the corner. Anthony Gill, place it to Harrell, drop step, turn back, but still scored. I thought Tate played that well, but that's what Montrezl Harrell does well, and that guy is so explosive off the bounce.
Yes, he does. And I covered Montrez with the Clippers, and he is a tough cover. When he sees a small lineup, he goes right away to attack it. And Houston's seen that in his time and how he's matured there. But look, he's going to just wall up. This is a good defense, like you said, from Jay Sean, but good job there of walling up. See the collision. See, Christian Wood is trying to get to a spot. Freedom of movement, as the referees would say, that Trez didn't allow him to have.
First foul on Harrell. Wood fouled, threw it up, and it went in. An early preseason prayer has been answered.
Players make plays. Christian Wood getting into his bag of certain getting into the bag and knocks down the shot. And it's rare that your center forwards or basketball players, as I like to acknowledge Christian Wood as, are going to knock down those deep threes and deep shots. And Montrez is going, how's this happening, man? What's going on? Big guys don't normally do this.
Well, Wood at the line. Look at the numbers from last year. That's all-star level of production from him as he misses the free throw, and that is an area in which he, quite honestly, really needs to improve upon. He was just 63% last year. Rockets by half a dozen. About 4 minutes to go in the first quarter of the preseason opener. KPJ with a rebound, the outlet to Nwaba, right at Neto. And that's kind of an idea of how the Rockets are going to want to play. Oh, a steal. Another opportunity to run the floor. Throw it up!
Excellent pass from KP, throwing it up. And you talk about the pace, defense turning into offense. Going upstairs, Mr. Nwaba.
A 13-3 run here for the Rockets.
House.
All right, here's a look at the Rockets' most recent draft haul led by GM Rafael Stone. The Rockets went into this draft having not drafted anybody in the first round of the previous 5. Incredible. And they ended up walking away with 4 really talented guys, 4 teenagers. Jalen Green, 2nd overall. Alperen Şengün. You've got Garuba and Christopher. And look how young this team is. You got the veterans, KJ Martin at 20, KPJ at 21. Incredible. This team is so young. And 5, count them, 5 19-year-olds on this current roster. The Rockets had never drafted a teenager before, and they took 4 of them.
You know, Craig, when I was 19, I was somewhere at UCLA in Westwood eating Doritos in my dorm room. I wasn't playing in the NBA, so we're excited to see these young men continue to grow.
Rockets get on this run. They've made their last 4 shots. They're doubling up Montrezl Harrell. Shot clock is at 5. Wood on the switch, stepping back. Neto missed everything. That's a shot clock violation. Good defense. And this Rockets group, whether it's the starting 5 or the second unit, they're going to be switching everything.
Yeah, and small nuance there. Christian Wood was allowed to leave Montrezl Harrell to play one-on-one earlier. He made a tough shot and scored. This time he comes with the double team and then runs a three-point shooter off the line. Excellent defense, multiple efforts from Christian Wood, and we see his versatility on display.
Tate, the face-up, the drive. Unfortunately, no score as it rolled off. Last year, the Wizards finishing 34-38, 8th in the East. And it bounces in for Holiday.
My fellow UCLA brethren there.
Yeah, they have 5 new faces, 6 rookies. Offensive rebound House. Fresh 14 here for the Rockets. And for the foul line, it's KPJ in and out.
Great screen there from Jae'Sean Tate. We've seen his defense on display, but, you know, setting the roller roll.
And Holiday able to bury the 3. Part of the Holiday trio in the league. Of course, Drew ended up winning a title last year with the Bucks.
Yes, he did. Happy for him. But Aaron Holiday hasn't seen a shot he doesn't like. You don't want him to get going. He just hit 2 in a row.
Not close for House. And here comes DJ Augustin and Alperen Şengün, 19-year-old out of Turkey. And take my word for it, this young man is crazy talented.
I really like this substitution pattern because LP is going to be a little slower foot. He's going to hedge on the pick and rolls and get back to his own man. And you see DJ Augustin checking in, who you don't want to switch with. Good weak side block and awareness from the defense.
But a foul is called as Nwaba got way up there and just clobbered Neto in the process.
That's what you want to see, you know, and not that you want to intentionally foul anyone or give your lane up, but you don't give up easy layups, and Neto's going to have to think twice about going to the lane next time. So good play there from Nwaba. Unfortunately, we don't get the block. It wasn't clean, but, you know, you don't give up an easy layup.
The Rockets are excited to host FanFest at Toyota Center on October the 16th. FanFest will include live music, a sneaker contest, games, food from Bun B's Trill Burgers, Trey the Truth Ice Cream, Cadillac Bars, Taco Truck, and the chance to watch the Rockets practice. This event is free and open to the public starting at 10 a.m. And so the Wizards now on a spurt over the last 90 seconds. They have scored the game's last 7. Eric Gordon back in, had it poked away.
Now Pete doing a good job of trying to get Eric Gordon open. You go and screen for him as much as you can. Why? Because you will be rewarded on the other end.
Augustine, the vet, draws 2 behind the back. Nwaba slipped by Gill and a late whistle. They're going to call a bit of a hip check there by Gill on Nwaba.
Beautiful pass there from DJ Augustine. Turns the corner and sails it in a while, but tight rope act on the sideline. No, he didn't step out and ends up getting the block and go.
Deep one, Eric Gordon.
One thing you love about Eric Gordon is Mr. Efficient. He's going to take his open shots and attack the closeouts.
Dinwiddie back in. Euro steps by Şengün, and then he stuffs him. Şengün, the reigning MVP of the Turkish league, which is considered the third best league in the world. This is where he does his best, right there, high post. He is an outstanding passer. And then the kick out, and Augustine sticks the corner three.
Two picture-perfect possessions from Al P. Shows out on the pick and roll, hedges, and then stays patient, gets the block, and the hockey assist on the other side. That's the pass that leads to the assist, for those who may not know.
Quick release. Bertans misses the three. Gordon jab stepping, pulling. That one's off. And there's Şengün battling, but a little bit too aggressive. Picks up the foul as he went over the back of Montrezl Harrell.
Look at Alpi. He sells his backdoor. Beautiful pass. And KJ Martin hitting the veteran DJ Augustine in the corner for the beautiful three. Something tells me that'll be on film tomorrow.
Yeah,
One of the beautiful
I'm
plays.
telling you, Şengün, when he works that out of that high post, much like Jokic, that's where he's going to be at his best. I'm telling you, he's the youngest guy on the team. I mentioned the 19-year-olds.
Yes.
He's the youngest of the group. He is so seasoned, understands how to play the game. His court vision and passing ability is off the charts already. And he's still, learning American culture and learning the language on top of everything else. So, you know, it's probably still very much a whirlwind for him since coming over from Turkey.
You know what I love? Basketball is basketball. Once that ball goes up in the air, you know, Alpi's all ready to play it. Everybody's speaking that same language.
And he's got a real strong, thick base.
Yes.
So you know as he matures and gets older, he's got the body type that's going to put on a lot of weight.
Absolutely. He's strong already.
And it's not like he's a small guy either at 19. Comes off the screen. Gordon finds a seam, try to throw it back inside to Alpi, nearly threw it away, and that will ultimately end up in a turnover and a shot clock violation.
A little slow, not the pace we'd really like to play at. You know, maybe get into those sets a little earlier, but good selfless actions. You know, no one's coming out really trying to get their own shot, but playing together.
Final seconds of the first. And that one is no good, and that'll do it. The Rockets ended up closing out that first quarter on a 19-12 run. Jalen Green, Daniel Theis, Kevin Porter Jr., the new-look Rockets shooting 50% from the floor.
It's going to be fun because he's also like playing kind of like a tall guard. Like he's doing a lot off the dribble. He's shooting the ball very well. So I think it's for us as soon as training camp starts and practices, just to see and read each other. Like if he's rolling, I'd be a spacer. So it's just like it's going to take a couple of practices, but it's going to be definitely going to be fun to watch and play with him.
Daniel Theis talking about fellow big man Christian Wood. Obviously, Kelly Olynyk has moved on to the Pistons, and what a season that Kelly had for the Rockets last year after the trade from Miami. But Theis is going to be playing primarily the 5, even though they're going to be switching, and Wood starting at the 4. But I think Theis is going to be able to provide a little bit of defensive help behind Christian Wood that Kelly Olynyk was not able to do. Although, again, Olynyk was absolutely amazing last year with the Rockets and ended up getting a nice contract with the Pistons as that was kicked by Augustine.
Yeah, Theis doesn't have the defensive game, offensive game, of Olynyk, but the one thing he does is he's an excellent defender. He's going to wall up. He's always going to be in the proper spots and knock down an open shot.
And we know the Rockets need to improve defensively as Şengün is called for the foul. I mean, when you go 17-55, the vast majority of your sort of typical stats and advanced stats, everything's going to look bad. Last year, the Rockets ended up finishing 27th in defensive rating, and so that's an area that the Rockets have been concentrating on a lot so far since the start of training camp. And for the first time here, as we have a game going once again, it's our grizzled broadcasting veteran, Kaylee Griffin.
Well, Craig, tonight after the game, it's a season preview show of Rockets All Access. As we look ahead to the upcoming Rockets season, we'll hear from players and coaches on their expectations for the year. All that and more this week on Rockets All Access, only on AT&T Sports. It's so good to be back with you guys this year.
Yeah, welcome back. And you're actually like in close proximity to the floor. That's a good thing.
I forgot what it feels like to be down here. I'm actually right next to the bench, a little bit farther behind, but I really did forget how close we were down here. So it feels good. I'm masked up. We're being safe down here, but it's just good to get back. We're starting to certainly head in the right direction.
Şengün here to the foul line, and he's a guy in his time in Turkey, lived at the foul line. He's a terrific free throw shooter, and you see the routine there where he talks to the basketball. Everybody's been trying to ask him, like, so what do you say? And he's like, no, that's between me and the ball, and I'll keep it to myself. He's going to be a really nice addition to this team. The Rockets acquired him in a trade from Oklahoma City. That pass ends up getting deflected, and hopefully in many respects, and perhaps maybe even more so, if you go back to when Luis Scola was acquired from the San Antonio Spurs, you can talk about the one that got away. Well, the Rockets also got James Harden from Oklahoma City as well. So if Şengün can live up to that, maybe somewhere in between Luis Scola and James Harden, the Rockets have found themselves a nice player for a long, long time as Dinwiddie knocks down the three. And Luis Scola just finally hung him up.
Oh, wow. Wow. Talk about a career.
Oh, that guy. You know what? Of all the players that's come through here, he's probably my favorite as Jalen Green draws the foul. You want to talk about a world-class human being? Luis Scola was that. And he was a heck of a player, too.
Oh, he was a tough cover. I couldn't stand guarding Scola, but look at Jalen Green. This is going full speed downhill, and Spencer Dinwiddie's going, whoa, kid, you're not supposed to be able to make that move. But great job at Jalen getting to the foul line. Doesn't step back, shoot a wild shot, but attacks. But that's an elite move. Downhill, full speed crossover, and hangs in the air for about 3 or 4 seconds to get to the foul line, Craig. A guy struggling a bit from the line. They're free.
Yeah.
We'll realize you don't leave free money on the table. This we call free throws.
Second make and 5 tries at the line for the Rockets here in this first half, the first of 4 preseason games. Both teams playing 4 preseason games. Throw it up, and Gafford throws it down. They picked him up for the Bulls last year. I'm a huge fan of Daniel Gafford.
He plays big. And everyone's getting smaller, Gafford plays big and gives some security to the Wizards, but he's going to have his hands full without P, I tell you that much.
Yeah, look at that. Şengün right back at him, but Gafford is a shot blocker. He's a lob threat. In his career, he's been a huge net positive when he's been on the floor, and to me that's so important because not only do you want to put up numbers, but when you're on the floor, you want to impact winning and the success of the group that you're playing with at the time that you're on the floor. We have another timeout, nearly 2 minutes gone by in the second quarter. On August the 6th, the Wizards spearheaded what was probably the most complicated trade in NBA history, and this is the Clip Note version. Russell Westbrook to the Lakers, Holiday, Dinwiddie, and a sign-and trade from Brooklyn. Holiday came from Indiana, KCP, Montrezl Harrell, and Kuzma from the Lakers. The Spurs were also involved in that particular trade. This was the NBA's second 5-team deal after 13 players were moved into a 5-team deal involving the Heat, the Hornets, the Celtics, the Grizzlies, and the Jazz in August of 2005. But that move did not also throw in the complicated sign and trade of Spencer Dinwiddie. Wizard GM Tommy Shepard helped pull that off, and that's a lot. And if you go to NBA.com or Basketball Reference and check out the full particulars on that, it's like a thesis. I mean, lots of draft picks. It was crazy. I can't believe they were able to get all that together and then get it approved And here they are. Spencer Dinwiddie playing with the Wizards. Misses the runner, but Gafford with the follow stuff. And the game is tied at 34. Rockets were up 10. KJ. And he's able to throw it up and in with the left hand.
Good patience there from KJ Barton. You know, takes a three, misses it, and instead of throwing up another one, attacks the rim and is patient and just jumps over everyone on the floor, as he can do every time.
Neto, the kick, corner three. And the rebound to Houston. Neto coming off the best season of his career. Augustine uses the pick. Şengün, who can shoot the three, elects not to.
My goodness.
Jalen Green lets it fly. Offensive rebound, then Şengün lost it, but he was fouled.
Hey, I'm going to tell you right now, Alp is special. There are not too many bigs that I have seen that will pump fake a three, go through the legs, get in the lane between two defenders and make an on-target pass, then does the dirty work, gets to the foul line, and taking his high fives as he approaches the bench, and Tice comes in with the replacement.
Yeah, KJ Martin also checking out. House back in. That's the third foul on Gafford as he heads to the Wizards bench. Only 6 turnovers so far in this game. Well, I didn't speak too soon. Green, and he got fouled. Had a step on Holiday, and he will shoot 2.
You can see the excitement in Houston here for Jalen Green. He attacks the rim. He's getting to the foul line a few times. But as he adds a few pounds of strength and muscle, he's going to be dunking over multiple defenders on those plays. So excellent job at Jalen Green. We know he can knock down a three, but hasn't settled. Gets in the lane, has made extra passes. You talk about an excellent preseason game thus far. Our first real look outside of Summer League at Jalen Green.
Kevin Porter Jr. returns. Augustine to the bench. Rockets still struggling a little bit at the foul line, 3 for 7. Wizards have already shot 12 free throws, but again, that's sort of par for the course, even though there are a lot of new guys on this team as that one went out of bounds. A bad pass there from Montrezl Harrell.
And the one thing about Coach Silas's defense, the guys are going to come to understand, we're running guys off the three-point line. We're trying to force the tough two, so, you know, packing the paint in, running guys off, and then those multiple efforts to finish off with rebounds.
Tice up top. Rockets now 4 of 13 from 3.
Good pass there from KPJ, and Tice with a very makeable shot.
Rockets have taken 4 threes in the second quarter. They've missed them all. Harrell's been as effective as they come in the league as the roll man on the pick and roll in terms of his efficiency. They did not throw it to him there. The kick out, the missed shot in the corner. The extra pass. Porter try to thread the needle inside to Tice, threw it away, and then Holiday ended up getting tripped up and fouled. That's number 2 on Tice.
Excellent idea there from KPJ. You know, you want to limit the turnovers, but you don't mind this one. You don't give up a fast break bucket, but it was getting downhill, getting in the lane. Those aren't the turnovers that are going to kill you, but you can go back and slow things down tomorrow on film. And I know Coach Lucas will be going over it with the guys.
Line change for the Wizards. 3 out, 3 in. Kuzma, one of them. Holiday to Montrezl Harrell. Kevin Porter Jr. recovering, blocking it, and then the loose change was picked up by Holiday. Threw it up and in.
Huge play from Daniel Tice. Need all 5 in there, helping out once the block goes up.
Green working on Beal. Had it knocked away. Picks it back up and then gets fouled.
I play with Brad. Something tells me he knows where Jalen went. But look at Daniel Tice going upstairs. Now you got to get all 5 guys in there in the lane, but he's going up with KPJ playing some defense. Tice in there got to finish it off with the possession, but excellent effort there. And keep in mind, you know, KPJ Scoot's our point guard right now up there blocking the other team's center.
Wizards over the foul limit. Free throws here for Green. Make it a Sunday fun day at Toyota Center on October the 24th when the Rockets take on the Celtics. Take advantage of $15 tickets, $1 hot dogs, and $5 beer and soda options. Tip-off is at 6 o'clock. Get your tickets tonight at Rockets.com. It's now a half a dozen for Green. He and Tice are the Rockets' leading scorers with 6. Spencer Dinwiddie leads everybody in the gym so far with 9. Throw it up, and Montrezl Harrell throws it down. He is just so springy.
Yes, he is. And the rolls from the Wizards have really bothered our defense on the backside. The help hasn't quite been there. You know, you've got to chuck those rollers, Gafford and Harrell, early.
Especially Montrezl Harrell, again, as efficient as they come as the roll man off the pick and roll. Rockets really struggling with their shot from outside here in the quarter. Now missed all 5. Holiday is wide open. A late closeout by Eric Gordon, but too late. And the Wizards now have their first lead of the game. And you look at the three-point shooting there. The Wizards started off slow, aren't shooting it great, but have made more than the Rockets have in this period as Tice is able to clean it up.
Right on time, Daniel Tice hanging around the rim. Excellent job. He's got some bunnies there. He's got some bunnies. Don't sleep on Daniel Tice. Nice block, a few dunks.
Game tied at 41. Holiday. And no. Second effort, no. Third effort, no. Montrezl Harrell thought there was contact there. Green comes down the baseline.
Jalen Green taking care of business. Crafty, and finally, maybe he just throws it in. We haven't quite seen the dunk yet, but he throws it in hanging around the rim.
Bradley Beal. And one.
Great job here. Daniel Tice doing what he does. Nice little dunk. No one wants the backs out. And hold on, Corey Kispert might be in both these posters. Sorry, Gonzaga. We'll put a call into Mark Few after the game.
Super athletic is Jalen Green.
I can tell you how impressed I am with Jalen of just taking his time, taking the shots that come to him defensively. He's going to have to improve, but you know, Craig, he hasn't forced anything tonight. Well, young players are so energetic and fired up, but that's what that year with the G League Ignite did. You know, he's seasoned and ready. He said he already feels like a professional.
Beal now with 7. His scoring average last year was the second most in a single season in franchise history as Green counters with the floater.
Sign of a great scorer, didn't force anything, and now he's heating up. Oh, we don't want to see Brad heat up. I've seen it too many times in Washington.
There's Green coming off the pick. The foul is on Tice.
No,
they're going to give it to Kispert, the rookie.
But good job of Daniel Tice understanding that Jalen Green's got it going. So if I set a screen for him, I'm going to have an opportunity on the other end. Good job of Tice, and you know, Kispert a little late getting over the screen and grabs Tice by the waist. You can't do that.
And that's why the whistle was blown as Tice knocks down the free throw.
I talked with Tice a little earlier at shoot-around. He said he's learned from Al Horford, and he understands I'm the veteran of this team. These young guys need to be so, but a small nuance. Okay, my guy is cooking. Let me set a screen and get a good look, and he ends up rewarded with the 2 free throws.
And he's been a pretty effective screen setter in his career.
Yes.
No one's going to confuse him in terms of setting screens like Rudy Gobert, who's the best in the league at doing it, but he's a pretty effective screen man, which is very important in this league. Air ball cleaned up by Harrell. Had it knocked out of his hands and then threw it right back inside to Kispert.
Got to finish those possessions, but Jalen Green helps off the strong side and flies out and makes his man airball. It's so athletic.
Short on the 3 for Tice.
Ooh.
Rockets have still yet to hit a 3 in the quarter. Turnover, steal, and knocked out of bounds. Last touch by Nawaba. The Rockets were 4 of 9 from 3 in the first quarter. Now 0 of 6 from 3 here in the second quarter, and this will be something that we'll be keeping an eye on this year because, again, much like many of the numbers and stats from last year, three-point shooting was a problem. The Rockets finished 28th in the league in three-point field goal percentage at just a shade under 34%, and they averaged 41 threes per game. This is the matchup that Beal wants. Theis in space. Will pull back 2.
Great defense from Daniel Theis. You can't ask for more on one of the arguably the most elite scorers in the NBA.
Christian Wood back out there going to work on Montrezl Harrell. The crossover, the runner rimmed it short. Kispert from the wing. He's a great shooter. He was in college, 41% from 3 in his collegiate career.
Got numbers.
Theis trailing, wide open, lets it fly, rims it short. Long rebound. Rockets can't buy a 3. Jae'Sean Tate out there. So you've got KPJ on the rookie. The crossover, the pull-up, and he buries the 3. The Rockets first here in the second quarter.
Scoot looks over and sees Corey Kispert. Barbecue chicken. Uh-oh. Takes the time. Rocket back. Scoot with the 3. 50-48. Rockets up.
There has been a couple of significant rules changes in the NBA this offseason as the importance of game flow continues to be at the top of the minds of everyone at the league office. The first of which are the non-basketball moves, if you will, as they try to sort of get players from warping the way the game the way they think it should be played. These are just a new interpretation of the rules already in the book, but this is an important one. The officials are looking for, was a move by an offensive player against a defensive player, was it abrupt, overt, or abnormal? Did the play end up resulting in significant contact? Can the defensive player continue with normal play? Was the said defender then taken out of normal play? And then, of course, sequencing matters in this, especially upon review. Did the defender ultimately reach in and foul before the offensive player leaned in and did something abrupt, overt, or abnormal? This is something that we're going to be talking a lot about this year. I think you kind of saw one play by Steph Curry last night in their preseason opener where the players are leaning in on various launch angles. Obviously, we're familiar with a lot of that stuff here in Houston when James Harden's played for the Rockets for 8 years. But they're not just targeting James Harden or Trae Young or Steph Curry or anybody like that. Heck, Kelly Olynyk was someone last year who leaned in and drew a lot of those types of calls. This year, the officials are basically either going to rule it an offensive foul or a non-call and play on. They're not trying to disincentivize free throws. They're just trying to disincentivize abnormal moves by players where the sole purpose is to get free throws. And again, this is something that will take some time for the players, the fans, the coaches, and announcers to get used to as this season goes along.
Great players adapt. They've adapted to use the rule, and they'll adapt to, shy away from it.
James Harden.
Yeah, it just cleans our game up. It's not a great look when a guy is, jumping across the foul line to get fouled, an abnormal non-basketball related or looking move. So the NBA got it right on this one.
Kuzma picked up the foul. Rockets and Wizards tied at 51.
Communication, that's one thing I've heard echoed all the way through training camp. Communication, so lack of there. And, when you do a lot of switching, you got to do a lot of talking.
Tate rolling. Here's KPJ spinning. Missed everything.
Tough call there. Got to get back on defense, though.
And then Beal gets walled off, but there was a whistle after losing the ball.
What breaks Bradley Beal, a former teammate of mine, so tough to guard. He's always moving without the basketball in his hand, so that doesn't allow the defense to just key in on him. And you're going to see Brad here attacking the rim. See KPJ in there looking to take a charge. Tice getting hands in there, but outside of the fall, that's what you want to see. You know what? You want bodies in front of a excellent scorer like Bradley Beal. You want to make his night tough.
I'm surprised they're giving him free throws here. The Houston Rockets will host a Filipino Heritage Night on October the 28th when they take on the Jazz. Fans can receive a ticket to the game, a Rockets hat, and a post-game Q&A with Jalen Green starting at $25. All fans in attendance will also receive a Jalen Green jersey t-shirt courtesy of Credit Karma Money. Get your tickets tonight at Rockets.com. Of course, Jalen Green of Filipino descent. That's a foul. And more free throws.
Good roll there from Jayshawn Tate. They're attacking Corey Kispert. He's been a liability for the Wizards on the defensive end so far tonight.
Yeah, it seems like the Rockets are hunting that defensive matchup each time down the floor.
That's what the NBA is today. You know, if you can't defend in space, which is incredibly tough, you're going to give up a lot of points. You know, multiple efforts. That's what the league is. So Corey Kispert's going to have his hands full, and it's a lot of a match of, you know, can we point out your weaknesses more than you can point out ours?
Great rookie season for Jayshawn Tate, all-rookie first team. The first Rocket to earn all-rookie first team honors since someone we've already talked about tonight, Louis Scoll in 2008. Guy who came out of Ohio State, played in Belgium, played in Australia, and now he is here. He's found himself a home in the NBA. And that was taken away from Tate by Harrell, and Beal ends up laying it up and in.
You see how tough Bradley Beal is. I mean, EG makes him work all the way to half court, and he still ends up getting the bucket somehow.
Here come the Wizards. From the corner, Beal is open, buries it. So the Wizards with the defensive stop, the run out, and then the corner three, and they have a 5-point lead, which is their biggest.
The growth here will be the controllables, you know, defensive rebounding, taking away the turnovers we spoke about. Those are about a 5 or 6 point swing.
And one, the second time here in the first half. A Rocket has made a three, and a Wizard has fouled him. Earlier was Christian Wood. This time it's Kevin Porter Jr.
And you spoke earlier, Craig, about the rules of emphasis. Kevin Porter Jr. does not kick his feet out at all. That is a natural shooting motion for him. He's just incredibly athletic and ends up getting the potential 4-point play as Dinwiddie goes to play his shot right at the top.
And he completes the 4-point sequence. He's got a dozen. Rockets leading scorer, one of three now in double digits. Tyson Green each with 10. Bradley Beal has 16. Aaron Holiday has 10 for the Wizards. Before Dinwiddie got hurt last year, his prior season was the best of his career. There goes Montrezl Harrell again, and missed a shot but drew the foul. He's just so active. He's a great dude. Enjoyed him when he was here with the Rockets.
Tough play there. You may want to go on catch. Looked like Scoot just kind of got a hold of the waist. We couldn't quite see it from up there. Look, yeah, he held it.
They gave the foul to Tate. They gave the foul to Tate. So Montrezl Harrell to the foul line.
And when you see a mismatch like that, you know, Coach Silas is going to toy with the notions of, hey, going right away on catch, you know, making a post player actually beat you, and then we take away the 3-point shot. But ends up making Montrez have to work from the foul line.
65% career free thrower is with the Rockets in his first two seasons. After he was selected by the Rockets in the second round. Jalen Green returning. Jayshawn Tate going out. Aaron Holiday's also picked up Kispert.
And there's nothing wrong with switches, but that's the, you know, growth of this squad to understand, hey, we're beat. This is a mismatch. This guy can score on the block versus, hey, we can wall in there and take him one-on-one, and we'll take our offense, our defense versus offense.
So he makes them both. Wizards have been excellent at the foul line in this first half, 15 of 17. Shot clock is off. See what the Rockets do here on their final possession of the first half. Got KPJ on Holiday, dances, pulls back, fires, misses. And that will do it for the first half of the first preseason game in this new era of Rockets basketball. KPJ has 12, Jalen Green has 10, but the Rockets trail the Wizards by 3 here at halftime. Stay tuned. Rockets halftime presented by Toyota is coming your way next. Half number 1 in preseason game number 1 is in the books. A high-scoring half at that as the Wizards lead the Rockets here at Toyota Center 60-57 as we take a look at the first half stats. Both teams shooting 44% from the floor. The Rockets were hot early from 3, not so much in the second quarter. A lot of free throws, assist numbers pretty even, and only 10 combined turnovers in that first half. And Ryan, obviously our first look at this new look Rockets team. What'd you think?
I am incredibly impressed with the first half. I know we're down, but the one thing is I thought everyone shared the basketball, played together. The groups looked good. Turnover-wise, they were excellent. I believe only about 3. And the pace can improve. You know, we want to run on makes and misses. So I'll say the B- type of range for pace.
Your first half leaders, Bradley Beal picking up right where he left off last season with 16 points. He's made 5 of his 10 shots. Holiday with 10. KPJ has a dozen. Jalen Green has 10.
We're close defensively, but not there. You know, when you're playing against dynamic scorers like Bradley Beal, there's multiple efforts from multiple players that have to be had. We haven't seen it yet, but my goodness, you can feel the excitement of these young players.
How long should it take?
Time will tell. I have to ask Coach Silas that one.
They set a double team at Beal, finds Kuzma, blocked, but fouled.
Christian Wood slides over. Can't quite see where the call was.
It's the left hand on the shoulder.
Left hand catches the shoulder there. Christian Wood tried the veteran trick, pull the shoulder and try to get the block. Sometimes referees may miss that one. For the most part, those calls have been made tonight. Excellent job of the referees, and Kyle Kuzma doing a good job attacking the rim. But, you know, Christian Wood's so athletic, he doesn't need to pull shoulders or grab. If he's there on time, you know, with his arms and his reach, he's a dynamic force on the defensive end.
Wizards missing Denny Avdia, the second-year player out of Israel. Out due to rest, but last year ended up suffering a bit of a hairline fracture in his right leg. Thomas Bryant is still recovering from a torn left ACL, and also not in their lineup tonight is their third-year product Gonzaga, Rui Hachimura, who's been out all training camp due to personal reasons, as Kevin Porter Jr. knocks down another 3, the layup the other way for Dinwiddie.
We spoke about Dinwiddie getting downhill. That means he has straight line drives to the basket. He doesn't play around. And, you know, if you're not having a body in front of him, you're going to be giving up points.
Quarter 3, Eric Gordon hasn't taken a ton of shots in this game, just his third, but he makes his second 3. They need Eric Gordon to stay healthy. He was originally in his Rockets career, but over the last couple of years, he has not been healthy at all as Kispert lines one up and buries it from the corner. In fact, Eric Gordon has played in just 63 games in the previous 2 seasons. And that's an offensive foul.
Such an integral part of the lineup. Tough call right there. But, you know, what the coaches do at halftime, they say, sure up the paint, no more free throws. And now we see these roll and replace 3-point shots. That means the pick and roll attacks the rim and gives up open threes. We've seen on both ends.
The third on Tice. Dinwiddie. That one dances off to Wood. Both teams rolling with their original starters here in the third quarter that began the game. Wood, the skip, good find. KPJ from the corner.
Can't teach what Christian Wood just did. He comes down at 6'10", crossover, gets to the post up, draws 2 and hits an open teammate in the corner for 3.
How about Kevin Porter Jr.? 18 points, now 5 of 9 from 3. There's Gafford bending the rim.
Tough call. That's why you want to keep guys out of the middle of the floor, because it becomes incredibly tough to help. Jalen kept a handle on that. He's going to be figuring out what he wants to do with the basketball and which dunk did he want to do. Watch this split. Kuzma jumps out a little
Kick after the reverse 5-hole dribble.
That was going to be the sauce right there.
Yeah, there are going to be some jaw-dropping plays for him this season. Good skip pass, but missing the 3 was Green. He was now 3 of 9 and 0 of 4 from downtown.
Tough play there from Jalen, and we saw from Scoot earlier. You don't want to gamble in the back court. You know, normally teams make you pay.
Dinwiddie matches the Wizards' biggest lead here at 5. His second 3, he's got 14. Tice, can he get it back? No, he cannot.
Good job of Tice of, kind of giving himself a chance to catch that basketball, but you've got to score on those opportunities.
Rockets had 6 turnovers in the first half, a couple of early ones here in the third, not even 3 minutes gone by. Gafford couldn't hang on. Gordon to KPJ on Beal. Oh, and one.
Goodness. We see the athleticism of Kevin Porter Jr. on display there. Keep in mind, he's left-handed, takes it behind his head and throws it up with his right hand on the finish. Just goes into slow motion on Bradley Beal and finishes up and over him. What a talented score.
26 games last year with the Rockets after being recalled from the G League. 23 starts, 17.6 assists per game. Of course, had that 50-point game, 11 assists as well against the eventual champions, the Milwaukee Bucks, here at Toyota Center at the very tail end of the season on April the 29th. He now has 21 to lead all scorers in this game. Beal is open off the Gafford pick. He misfires. Green on Kispert, nothing doing. Gets it back from Wood. Now he'll shoot the 3.
Good look there. Very makeable shot from Jalen.
Gafford again, punching it, this time with the right hand. This guy is one of those players that I always thought deserved more of an opportunity in Chicago, and obviously he's going to get it in the starting lineup here with the Wizards, especially with Brian out, recovering from the knee injury. But Gafford's such an efficient player, so athletic.
Gets a blocking call there. Kyle Kuzma couldn't quite get his feet set, and you see the versatility of Christian Wood. We've seen him play center. We've seen him play forward. We've seen him play point guard, bringing the ball up court, and attacks Kyle Kuzma here off the drive and gives himself an opportunity for 2.
Take advantage of tonight's Rocket Shop online item of the game. Tonight, purchase a pair of Rockets crew socks for just $10. Grab yours tonight only at RocketShop.com. Now also accepting BitPay and PayPal for payment.
And that'll be the growth there of Christian Wood. If we got to nitpick his game, defensively sliding over, getting his chest in front, and knocking down free throws. He's too talented to miss the free ones.
Yeah, he's 1 of 4 at the line again. This is an area of concern. Really about, in terms of the way he played offensively last year, the only area that kind of stood out on the negative side as Kuzma knocks it down. Wizards starting to knock down a bunch of threes here in the quarter. That's their 4th. There's Porter Jr. again going to work.
Wow. Is that with the right hand again? Looked like a user, right? But it's so incredibly talented. You see how smooth and easy Kevin Porter Jr. makes basketball look.
Kispert turned back.
Gafford's rolls to the rim have really hurt our defense in the straight line drives.
Tough 3, step back. Dinwiddie, long one, no. Wood with the board. Number 6 for him. And now we have a whistle off the ball as I believe Dinwiddie got Tice as he was trying to post him up on the right block.
Great defensive possession earlier from Daniel Theis, forcing a step-back contested three from Dinwiddie. And again on the attack, Christian Woods, when he gets the basketball, everyone knows just run wide and stay spread. He's a willing passer.
Good to see again Dinwiddie back out there after the knee injury. Deep positioning for Theis. Count it. Plus the foul. I mean, he had Gafford that time posted up deep inside of the restricted area. And when NBA players are that close to the rim, it's tough to stop them.
Last year, this team really missed an inside presence, and Theis doing a little bit of everything defensively tonight, knocking down open shots, but rolling to the rim and just making the simple play.
So Gafford picks up his fourth. He is 5 of 5 from the floor.
Oh, not Theis. Theis is getting the free throw-itis too.
Yeah,
not you, Theis.
Yeah, that's his first miss. He's a 73% career free throw shooter. The Rockets. 8 missed free throws. There's Beal down the baseline.
Bradley Beal, tough, as I said earlier, moving without the basketball. You cannot key in and lock in on him.
Gordon rubs off the pick. Finds. Oh! Kevin Porter was thinking about dunking it before actually having the ball in his possession. Says, my bad. That'll lead us to a timeout here. 6:44 to go in the third from Toyota Center.
Rockets fans, make sure you're following AT&T Sportsnet on social media for game highlights, player interviews, and giveaways. Find us on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook for the latest on the Rockets all season long. Now, guys, father-son coaching trees in the NBA are pretty few and far between, and tonight we get to see two of the sons dueling for the first time as Stephen Silas takes on Wes Unseld Jr. Before tonight's game, Coach Silas said that the two have a really close relationship. Of course, their fathers battled during their time in the league, and then Unseld Jr. and Stephen got close over the years. They were both on the road doing advanced scouting until Unseld Jr. was named an assistant coach for the Wizards. It was actually him that helped Stephen Silas, after he was let go by Cleveland, get an advanced scouting job with the Wizards. Silas said, we talk a lot. Sometimes we find pictures of our fathers or each other along the way and we shoot it to one another. It's certainly a special bond. And both of these coaches tonight trying out different lineups, seeing what they have on their rosters, and ultimately they're trying to get some bragging rights between these two families, guys.
Yeah, very similar paths and backgrounds for both men. Congratulations to Wes Unseld Jr. in his first season as an NBA head coach. Here's Kuzma. Wizards are hot here in the third.
Well, that's what you do. You attack the rim, and now you open the three ball up, and the Wizards have been living in our paint all night long.
Biggest lead of the game. There's Green. Gets two of those three back halfway through the third.
Veteran finish there from Jalen Green, not forcing a slam dunk, just taking the 2 points.
Wizards, 5 players now in double figures. Beal in on Tate. Off of the corner, Kispert. And make it now 6 Wizards in double figures as Kispert knocks down his second three. He's got 10.
The awareness you're going to have to see, Jae'Sean Tate fights to get back in front, and House caught with his hand in the cookie jar, a little bit of
Threw it
overhelp.
up and broken up from behind by Beal.
If he had got that one.
I'm surprised Tate was able to stay in bounds. Spinning on Gafford, going glass.
Excellent move there from Jae'Sean Tate, attacking Gafford, going straight through his chest.
Beal ISOing over here near side on Wood. Doubled up by Green.
Yeah. Can't put it down twice. Elite closeout from Daniel House. Runs Kyle Kuzma, who just knocked down a big three off the three-point line, then slides with him and forces him into a double dribble, traveling violation.
And that's been part of what the Rockets have been doing so far in training camp defensively, are those closeouts. Especially now with the new non-basketball move interpretation from the league that will result in free throws there for Christian Wood. You got to be able to close out now sort of under control, stay balanced, because you got to be prepared for guys like Christian Wood, even at his size at 6'10", for the ball fake and the ability to put the ball on the floor and then create from beyond the arc after threatening to shoot a three. Beal with his third. Wood to the line, and he misses again.
This just has to be mental here. You know, Christian Wood is too talented of a player and shooter to miss these free throws. I mean, he's absolutely special. But the catch and finish that he had, the effort just to get to the free throw line was special. He catches the ball around the free throw line, takes 2 steps, and is going to be jamming that thing if he's not fouled from 2 guys, and he gets one to go, which is going to do excellent for his confidence.
Yeah, Wood very frustrated now. 2 for 7 at the stripe in this game. Neto deflected right in the corner. Holiday, nope. That's rebound number 5 for Green. KPJ behind the back. Back to Porter Jr. Wood and Gafford going at it down low. Shot clock down to 5. Here's Wood, the drop step, and the slam.
So you know what? I'm missing enough free throws, guys. Don't worry. I know what to do with it.
Again, those two were battling that entire possession. Back on the Rockets, they have numbers. Here's Tate pirouetting by Neto. The kick of the corner, the ball fake, the patience, and then House missed the 3. There's Porter, though, the spin and follow.
My goodness. You talk about a talent. Scoot. Oh, my goodness.
7 in a row for the Rockets. 2-point game. 25 now for KPJ. Tate with the poke, but the foul.
Tate and House have changed the tempo of this game defensively from getting into the passing lane, being physical. Okay, I missed the field free throws. Guess what? I got you, Coach Silas. I'm going to throw this one down. Christian was just taking his time against a great defender in Gafford. And, whew. Don't worry, guys. I'll take care of it. Craig, I got you, Craig. Don't worry about it, Craig.
Tate with his second. Got some more substitutions here. Bertans back on. Montrezl Harrell for the Wizards. Also checking in for the first time for Washington is Isaiah Todd. He's a 19-year-old rookie. Will turn 20 in less than 2 weeks. Was a teammate of Jalen Green's with the G League Ignite. And Christian Wood getting a little handsy on the perimeter there with Davis Bertans picks up the foul. We'll look at Isaiah Todd, who was picked in the second round, 31st overall pick by Milwaukee, then traded to Indiana, then ultimately traded over to Washington in that 5-team sign and trade.
Really good athlete there in Isaiah Todd, but the intensity on the defensive end has picked up.
Runner for Holiday, no. Montrezl Harrell battles for the offensive rebound. Comes back to Holiday, another floater, no. Another offensive rebound for Montrezl Harrell, blocked by Christian Wood.
Got numbers.
Tate, nothing doing. Green finds House open in the corner, no. Tate, no. And the Wizards have the ball.
The energy from those two have changed this game. I'm talking House and Tate.
Holiday with a step on Green, and there's a foul, and did Christian Wood interfere with the rim on top of it? Looked like, at least from here, may have gotten a hand on the rim, but they're just going to call the foul. And we have a timeout here. Look at Kevin Porter Jr. again. He's been the game's leading scorer. He's got 25 and counting.
Number 4, Aaron Holiday at the line, shooting 2.
The cap to John Wall and the professionalism that he's been displaying as Kevin Porter Jr. misses his first shot of the third quarter. He was 5 of 5 here in the third prior to that miss, scoring 13 of his 25. We do have a foul.
Good job of LP. He's a house down, and he knows where to position his body. He gets in a spot where I thought the foul would have been on him. Maybe looks like it's overruled, but nonetheless, he's going to get in there and battle. Looks like Bertans was ends up getting fouled on the play, but nonetheless, I like that LP is in the lane, being physical, doing his job.
Rockets also over the foul limit here with 2:34 to go in the third quarter. Last year, Davis Bertans almost shot 40% again from three, and this was after a really slow start to the season for him, now in his third year with the Wizards. Last year, Davis Bertans took nearly 90% of his shots as threes.
Well, that's tough. I want to say 100% of mine were twos, so it was the opposite.
The game has changed.
Yes, it has.
Last year, just to kind of give you a little bit of a reference point, Armani Brooks took 82% of his shots as threes, as House with a nice pass inside to Şengün.
Or Armani's not, 6'9" or 10, but excellent passing again. Ball sharing on display, and LP getting it done on the defensive end, offensive end.
Todd and Holiday not on the same page. Here's Nwaba, blocked but fouled.
Great job of David Nwaba attacking once again in transition. And David House, H-Down's finest, dropping it off to LP down there, getting it done.
Rockets were up by as many as 10 in the first half. They have trailed by as many as 9 here in the quarter. Don't miss the Rockets home opener on October the 22nd as they take on the Thunder. The first 10,000 fans will receive light-up batons courtesy of Toyota. Bun B, Slim Thug, and Paul Wall will also debut the new Light the Fuse Rockets anthem. Tickets start at just $15 at rockets.com. We have ourselves a one-point game.
Can't tell you how highly the guys speak of David Nwaba in the front office and what he means to this organization. Behind the scenes, you may not always see it in the stat sheet, but doing an excellent job and means so much to this organization.
Well, what he did last year, playing hurt when the Rockets needed bodies in Salt Lake City, there were so many times last year where the Rockets, you'd go into a game and you're wondering if they would have enough healthy players available. You had to suit out 8. At times they did suit out 8. Only 7 guys played. And there was that one particular game in Utah against the Jazz where he gave it a go and decided to sort of pass on surgery originally because they needed him.
Wow.
And that really kind of gave you a nice, positive, lasting impression of him, his character, not only to the fans, his teammates, but the Rockets front office, coaches, all of them.
You set the tone with these young guys. That's what it's about. Sometimes it's not about yourself.
Augustine lets it fly. Solid pro, DJ Augustine. Most experienced player.
It's so funny. He was my rookie once upon a time in Charlotte as he gets scored over on the lob. There's some height restrictions there for DJ Augustine, but he was a pro's pro from day one. I mean, he stepped in, he did the tough things, has a smaller guard, made the correct plays, and it's no surprise he's playing his 14th year in the league.
So, 2-shot foul.
And you know how bad Montrez
That's his first missed free throw.
would love to play well here, where it all started for him here in Houston. Always going to be a special place for Trez, and a player who wears his emotions on his sleeve and always leaves it on the floor.
Game tied at 89. Todd knocks it out of bounds.
Yeah, Todd understood it. Alpe gets the basketball. There's probably barbecue chicken down there. There's not much he's going to do to stop him.
8 on the shot clock, 65 seconds to play in the period. Preseason opener for both. Augustine working on Bertans in space, steps right. Neto on the curl. Extra pass in the corner. Here's the rookie, Todd. Tate. Good job by Neto turning him back. Şengün sets the pick. Tate the driving kick. Wide open is Augustine. That one a little bit long. Rebound Şengün. Bounce pass Nwaba. Power dribble. And then the layup on the other side. And the Rockets have the lead again on a 16-5 run here.
Alpe is so I mean, he makes the correct plays every time, and what an excellent pass for a big man.
A howitzer there for Bertans, and that will do it. That will not count. That will not count. Well, the Rockets again able to close. They're going to look at it. I don't think that'll count. They're going to look at it. But we're through 3. And the Rockets with a good run to end that third quarter. Well, after video review, that last basket by Neto was ruled good. I thought it was late, but it was ruled good, a 2-point basket. So that is the score through 3, tied at 91 apiece.
That's why we are sitting up here, and the referees are doing an excellent job.
Yeah, I thought it came late.
Down there. Yeah.
I mean, there was a lot going on there at the end of the quarter, but I thought it came late, but I was wrong. Won't be the first time.
Big fourth quarter here. The one thing you're going to look for is execution and find a will to win at home. You know, take care of these fans in the first game.
Green, wrap around Tate. Şengün, was that basket interference? It was. Now, you can get away with that in Europe. A lot of people think you should be able to get away with that in the NBA.
Agreed.
But you can't.
Alpe hanging around the rim. I love the possession, though. Attacking the rim, not settling for threes. Those threes will be taken, but not settling for them.
Bertans.
Well, your scouting report said 90% three-pointers taken last year, and he's living to the expectation. Big minutes here right now for Jalen Green. He's going to be the primary ball handler along with DJ Augustine. You're going to get him game experience reps with the game on the line.
Yeah, he's still looking for his first made 3, though. He's 0 for 6. Neto. Kispert from the foul line.
Kispert was the closer for Gonzaga last year. They fell short in the national championships, but did an excellent job for the Zags Player of the Year candidate, All-American.
And there's Kispert trying to fight over the top of the Şengün screen, reaching in and knocking down Augustine.
Kispert's going to have he's getting welcome to the league right now. He's been a part of a lot of these highlights. And DJ Augustine, the veteran move, understanding that Kispert's hands gets caught in the cookie jar, and that's what these great guards do. They shoot the ball once they feel that contact.
Some contact there, no whistle. Rebound Washington.
Right now, you're going to want to fall on a game you play in training camp and in practice, the 3-stop game. You want to get 3 stops in a row to get yourself back into these games. Now, the drives have been taken away, Craig, but one thing you don't want to do is play with your hands and foul. You want to move your feet and get in the correct position, which takes a lot of anticipatory skills.
We have an away from the play foul there.
Yeah, that should result in free throws if I'm not mistaken. You cannot foul a guy before the ball is in bounds. Automatic free throws.
Rockets next telecast the preseason finale as they are in San Antonio to take on the Spurs. Rockets preseason schedule. They'll be hosting the Heat here on Thursday night, 9 o'clock start. And then north of the border, taking on the Raptors on Monday the 11th. And as we mentioned, that preseason finale in San Antonio on Friday, October the 15th. 8 straight for the Wizards. They get another crack at it, and a wide open running three for Bertans in and out. And a foul on Şengün is, again, as good as he was in Turkey as the MVP. My guess is that they didn't have quite as many energetic and springy guys in that league as they do in this one, especially none like Montrezl Harrell.
When we talked about finishing possessions, you know, Alpi is going to have to grab that rebound and hold on and chin it. Those pesky guards are going to be hanging around the basketball. But great job of, you know, contesting the shot, gets the rebound, now finish it.
Şengün out, KJ Martin back in. Neto on Nwaba and loses it.
Premier defense from David Nwaba. The word on the street is they call him Uncle Dave in the locker room. I'm not sure who's calling him that or if it's true, but that's the word on the street.
Well, we put up that graphic earlier. All those guys under the age of 25. Augustine, no. Kispert. Bertans keeps it alive. And Martin ended up getting Todd. Are they going to count the basket? No, they are not.
The one thing, Washington is just quicker to the basketball right now. We see Todd goes up and gets Martin in the air. Foul correctly called on the floor, but got to finish possessions all the way through. Play through the whistle, play through the rebound.
Just over 2 minutes gone by here in the fourth. The Rockets have already picked up 4, now make it 5 fouls. Wow.
So this is the fine-tuning that Coach Silas is going to say, well, guys, first we gave up the drives too easily, then I got on you about playing harder, then we started to foul. So, you know, the growth in practice when watching film is moving your feet, getting in position earlier, communicating even more. But I tell you, you know, I think I can speak for you, Craig, that just the way they've shared the basketball and played together, we are beyond excited for what our guys are going to be able to do this season.
Usman Garuba is in, another 19-year-old rookie out of Madrid, Spain, member of the Spanish national team. As Jamie Echenique, their rookie out of Wichita State by way of Columbia, into the line. Has a Texas connection, played JUCO ball at Trinity Valley Community College in Athens, Texas, which is west of Tyler. KJ Martin back up with it. That ends what was 12 unanswered by the Wizards.
The energy for the Wizards is just different. You know, they're the aggressors right now, the last 7 or 8 minutes.
All the fouls by the Rockets not doing themselves any favors. Augustine, good hustle. The preseason game to play it back into Green. Ahead to Nwaba. Back out to Augustine. Up top. Nope.
Couldn't quite get a handle on it. Good look, though. Great pass from DJ. David just a little further out and couldn't get a piece of it.
Armani Brooks in. Augustine and Jalen Green go out. There's our first look at another youngster for the Rockets, and Josh Christopher, 24th pick in the draft.
Talk about a young man excited to play some basketball. He's been waiting for this moment his whole life.
Garuba was taking one slot before him at 23. And a foul on Washington. Rockets, the other 19-year-old on their roster is Dacian Nix, undrafted rookie, also a member of that G League Ignite team. And that's a foul. And Nwaba to the line for a pair.
Coach Silas talked about how he loved what David Nwaba brought to the team. He just knows how to play, you know, bringing the effort defensively, moving without the basketball. And you look up, Craig, it's a 5-point game, so an opportunity still to get a win here at home. And 2 free throws could potentially cut this thing to 3. And Nwaba, being the veteran here with this group, understands the accountability, saying, hey, guys, come on, let's pick it up, but leading by example.
Makes them both. Holiday a step on Christopher, and he's able to score.
Aaron's got an incredible ability just to contort his body and make some of the toughest layups you'll see.
Christopher stepping back and out of bounds. That's the old Carlos Delfino. It's never too soon in a season to bring up Carlos Delfino. He did that like quite often when he was here in Houston.
Yeah, I
he had
know
a
it.
terrific career. But yeah, the old Carlos Delfino.
Delfino was a headache to play against, man. Incredibly talented. Part of that Argentinian national team.
Yep. There's Gill from the corner. 26 games, 4 starts for him last year as a rookie with the Wizards. Garuba, he's so good playing downhill. That's one of his strengths.
Nice drive there. We know what he can do defensively, so the offense is a added addition.
Gets the rebound. Plays it ahead to Brooks. Martin run off the three-point line, attacks the rim. Back inside to Garuba. Try to throw it back to Dante Exum, the urban legend. Threw it away. Trailing and then missing the 3.
Excellent hustle from Garuba.
Was Jordan Goodwin. And now we have a whistle.
Dante Exum had some excellent minutes there for the Australian national team.
And this was after last year. Another look at the Garuba drive where allegedly he was here, but nobody really actually saw him a season ago. And he has had some health problems, but you're right. Ended up re-signing with the Rockets, an incentive-laden deal off his performance in Tokyo at the Olympics.
Yeah.
Guy who was selected very high in the draft. And Christopher with the make. We got a timeout. Rockets within 3. 6:49 remaining in this one. Rockets basketball on AT&T Sportsnet is brought to you by your local Toyota dealers. And by Memorial Hermann, advancing health, personalizing care. 3-point game, 6:49 remaining in it. I suppose if they're going to play a game that doesn't actually count, might as well have it be fun and close. So, although I guess there's a certain line that in the preseason you probably don't want to cross, which is no, I'm not even going to go there.
Well, Craig, I tell you one thing. From being in these positions, you want to win the first one at home. You want to take care of your fans. You want to own your space. So there's a strong value in competing and taking care of home, and these guys understand it. And Josh Christopher with his first NBA bucket, preseason bucket, however you want to count it, but it's special for him.
Yeah, this group on the floor for the Rockets is very young. I mean, every group the Rockets put on the floor for the most part this season is going to be very young, but
Rookie mistake there for Josh. Got to stay between the ball and the basket. You know, can't no Ole defense.
Yeah, that was H&EK. Here's Brooks, who lit it up last year from 3. Christopher, good looking stroke. They've been working on it.
He's been working incredibly hard, as you said. Big time shot from Josh Christopher, making the most of his minutes.
You know, his shooting stroke was one of the big questions about him, but obviously a terrific early look at Christopher and a good-looking stroke.
Good screen there from Garuba running in for the second, pick. Got the layup earlier on the drive and sets an excellent screen. But Christopher going to have to stay in front of his man defensively, and he draws one of the tougher assignments in the game outside of Bradley Beal and Aaron Holiday.
Yeah, he's a terrific athlete, is Josh Christopher. And as everybody saw in the Vegas Summer League, he's got an incredible motor, super competitive. At 19, he's got much like a lot of the Rockets rookies, it's very well built. He's got the tools to be a terrific defender. Oh, he's feeling it. He's feeling it! Josh Christopher, saving for the regular season.
Take advantage. Now we need some defense, young fella, but he's feeling it.
So in practices, John Lucas and the coaches have been working with him on that three-point shot. And Matt Bullard's been working with him too. They put a ball in between both of his legs to keep his body sort of quiet and aligned.
Well, it's
and
working.
Look, it's working.
Oh, good. So a little much right there, Josh.
Again, he has all the tools to be a really good defender in this league. But man, if he is, again, I don't want to overreact to his first preseason game, but this was a big question mark about him coming into the league. Can he shoot consistently enough to stay on an NBA roster? Again, early returns, very good.
Stay patient and you work and good things happen. And he's so young. We want to keep that in mind.
Here's Exum down the baseline and one, and a chance to tie the game up at $109.
Great job there from Dante Exum, understanding he saw a lane and attacked it. And the one thing I love about Dante, he plays downhill, attacks the big with relentless effort, outstretched arms, and gets the and one. Strong finish. These guys aren't going to go away calmly. Exum becoming a veteran now, understands the situation. Let's win at home. Come on.
Rockets free throw woes continue tonight.
See Garuba defensively switching out on guards. That's what makes him special.
Yep, he was considered the best defender in the draft.
See why? He was out guarding Kevin Durant this summer.
Christopher with the reach.
Now you don't want to beat yourself. No easy buckets, but the silly fouls. Our young guys are going to have to understand when you're strong enough and athletic enough, just stay in there and force a tough shot. You don't have to foul.
So free throws here for the Wizards, 4:44 to go. Amongst the changes this year in the league is Spalding is out and Wilson is in.
Wow.
New game ball. I was talking with Eric Gordon about it, and he mentioned that it feels good. He thought that maybe the seams, if you will, feel a little bit wider apart than the old Spalding ball, but he said generally speaking, he likes the new one. I know you played when they brought in that synthetic ball, and everybody hated it.
Oh, yeah, it wasn't good. We were getting our fingers cut. The ball was slipping. Garuba, oh, my. Christopher Garuba for three.
And the game is tied at 111.
Oh, big minutes for Garuba and Christopher.
And while Garuba is polished as a defender, that's one area he needs to improve upon as he moves forward. But those two guys, again, selected right by one another in the draft, getting it done here in the fourth. Here's Christopher, bad pass. The outlet. Brooks with the poke.
Good hustle, great hustle, matching up in a scramble situation. Armani Brooks taking away the easy two. Communication from Brooks. Great minutes from Brooks also.
That time, Garuba got caught reaching, and that allowed Goodwin to slip by him, the undrafted rookie, for the floater.
Garuba doing a good job. Normally moves his feet. When you reach, move your feet with the reach.
Oh, pullback three, Christopher. And that one was way off. Well, I guess he almost hit it off the glass, but still. We have a timeout. We got a tight game. Rockets down 2, 3:29 to go. Big night for Kevin Porter Jr. in the preseason opener. He's got 25 points to lead all scorers. He's knocked down 5 threes. He's been really good.
Yes, he has. You know, it hasn't forced anything, and more than likely his night's going to be over, but just scoring in a way of fashion off the basketball, getting in the lane, and you know, playing within himself. And we see the defense on display, but Kevin Porter Jr., one of the more talented scorers in the entire NBA, and we know how young he is and the excitement around the season. He's got 25 points in limited minutes. I mean, if this is a full game, we're looking at a 30 or 40-point night easily.
Got those 5 assists as well. His goal is to average 10. Now that is a pretty lofty goal to have, as that doesn't happen very often, but still.
He's capable.
It's a good goal. If you're going to have a goal, you might as well make it a big one to try to reach. But he's had a very good night. 3-ball for Goodwin goes down.
Tough possession right there in the red. You got to come up with those stops.
His first team All-Atlantic Conference the last 2 seasons. Şengün, after checking out after picking up 5, is back in. Spin foul.
He is so good. Crafty with the basketball. Watch him. He sits and makes the reads and then goes and drives and just contorts his body. You know, he's got a weird way of just bullying to the rim and finding any nook or cranny to get his shot off, and is rewarded on the foul line.
Last year with Besiktas in the Turkish Super League. Mentioned this earlier, winning the MVP as an 18-year-old, averaged 19 points, 9 rebounds, a block and a half per game, shot 81% at the line. He is a good free throw shooter, but he and most of the Rockets tonight have not had a very good night when it's come to free throws in this game, and a reason why they're down 5 here. Misses them both.
And the one thing, you know, coach is going to be able to do, look at practice. Hey, guys, we played great. We played hard. There's things we need to fix, but the free throw line, we beat ourselves. You guys are working too hard to give this up.
Yeah, normally I'm able to jinx the opponent at the line. I think I just got Şengün there. It's early for all of us. Armani Brooks.
And that's a great shot for Armani Brooks, a dead-eye shooter.
Turnover for the Wizards. Christopher throws it up and laying it up and in. Plus the foul was K.J. Martin. Couple of big-time athletes leading the way that time.
Great finish there. You know, Josh maybe can do a better job at not telegraphing the lob, but K.J. Martin with an even better effort to get up and finish this bucket.
Never had full control of the ball.
No, that is tough, and he's a lefty coming down the right side of the floor. Great job, K.J. Martin. Oh, no.
Offensive rebound. Oh, punched back by K.J.
See if we can't ignite this crowd and get a stop here, too.
2 minutes to go. Wizards 116, Rockets 115. No good on the 3. Rebound battle won by Houston. Exum down the baseline. Şengün stuffed.
Gosh.
Rockets get it back, and then Christopher's pass sailing over the head and off the fingertips of K.J. Martin.
The energy in the arena has changed. Everyone's not quite off our feet yet, but you can feel the excitement. So close, down by 1. excellent effort from our young guys.
Stay tuned for Rockets postgame presented by Jack Daniels with Kevin and Calvin. Todd. Jordan Shackle now with it. Undrafted rookie out of San Diego State. Back to Todd. Steps right. Tough looking shot. Rebound Şengün. Şengün on the move to Christopher. He hits the layup. Got dropped. He'll toe the line for one as the Rockets lead by one with 1:08 to play.
Excellent finish from Josh Christopher, but that's your center pushing on the break. Great finish from Josh Christopher. Toyota Center's going crazy. Big time finish off of the glass. And, you know, the one thing that Coach Silas in the huddle is going to say, guys, defend. If we defend, we can get out and run, and I don't have to call plays, and we can step away with the win.
Christopher has scored 11 points here in the fourth quarter. Knocking down threes, acrobatic finishes. Sensational debut for him. As the Rockets now are clinging to a one-point lead with 68 seconds to go, and this is what Christopher has done here in the fourth quarter.
Yes, he has. You know, knocking down the threes, and then he's feeling a little bit, gets one going off the bounce. But even more importantly, this is what he does. Running in transition, throws up the lob to KJ Martin, gets downhill for the nice three. But if this group can get in transition, excuse me, let me reverse it. If this group can defend, they can run, and Christopher and our young guys will be at their best. But excellent minutes from Josh Christopher. He didn't get in until late into the game, and I was a guy in that position before, and I can't tell you how incredibly hard that is. But Christopher being rewarded, and Coach Lucas has been working incredibly hard with Josh Christopher on the things he's doing. They're paying off right now.
3 made threes. Again, that was a question coming in to his NBA career, but he's been terrific.
Craig, don't say anything about the free throws. I don't even want you to look at the line. You talked about free throws earlier. We don't want to hear it. Not right now, Craig. Oh, God.
See, that's on you.
That's on me.
So
That's
Christopher,
awful.
he'll stay with 11. Rockets have missed a ton of free throws tonight.
Oh, goodness.
So 1 minute to go. And the Rockets are up one. Oh, look out.
Okay.
The owner and operator of the KJ Martin block party was trying to get one there, but a little overzealous, climbed the back and picked up the foul.
Am I tripping? KJ Martin disappears. He keeps going up and going up and going up. And he was in there so long.
Yeah, you got H&EK there. From Columbia, went to Trinity Valley Community College, then on to Wichita State.
Echenike, he's affected the game, done a good job rolling to the rim, just being big and finishing, getting to the foul line.
He was in Spain last year. Oh boy. Preseason game, it's tied at 117. Remember, I never said anything earlier.
Get the ball in Alpe's hands and let him work. Little Nikola Jokic.
Draws three, X him to Martin. Find the shooter, that's Brooks for three.
You could tell that was going in by the time he caught the basketball. If Armani Brooks gets his hands and feet set, you can count that as a bucket.
Brooks, the NBA record holder for the most made threes for the first 20 games of a career.
Oh, wow.
Did that last year. Former Cougar. Step back two. Good for Goodwin.
Good defense, Alpe. Great defense.
Shot clock is off. The Rockets have the lead. The Wizards have to foul.
Now, don't tell me we're coming down to a free throw contest. Yeah,
Oh,
Craig.
yeah.
How fitting. We've struggled at the line all night, and it come down to winning on the line. Wes Unseld Jr. doing an excellent job with these guys. He's got a new squad also there in Washington. And Dante Exum, he's been in these moments before. He's going to have a shot to be the hero tonight.
Well, these two teams played the most fun game that nobody ever watched a couple of years ago, October the 30th, 2019, in D.C. These two teams combined to score 318 points. It was a 159-158 game. The reason why many people didn't see the game is because in the respective markets, they were more concerned with the Astros and the Nationals in Game 7 of the World Series going on at the exact same time. Rockets by 3. 14 seconds to go. We'll be right back. Well, it's just a preseason game, and it's just the first, but it's been a fun one. 14 seconds ago, Rockets are up 3, 122-119. So, Ryan, you're new. It's never too early to bring this up. If you're coaching, you're Stephen Silas. What are you doing here in this situation? Up by 3, and the Wizards are now out of timeouts.
Let's put the ball in the hands of our guys.
Do you foul here? Or do you let them get off a 3?
Let's foul and make it a free throw battle, and I'm putting the onus of our guys to bring it home, and I know they have struggled from the line, so you may not want a free throw battle, but you put faith in your guys. They put the ball in your guys. They worked hard at training camp. They're professionals. You give them an opportunity to go win the game because guess what? A 2 doesn't beat you. A 3 beats you in this situation.
Well, it's too early, in my opinion, to foul now. You start to think about it when the game clock gets under 8. You absolutely do, in my opinion, when it gets under 5. But 14 seconds left. There's too much time to put the Wizards at the line at this point.
Goodwin's hit shots.
There's the 3.
Goodness.
Got it off early. Missed everything.
Christopher's got to be careful there. They don't call a foul, but jumped out aggressively on the contest. And now I say you get the ball in Exum, or actually Brooks. Brooks or Exum's hands. They've been excellent on the line.
And we're going to have another. Now we're going to keep it right here. Well, again, I thought it was too early in that possession to foul on purpose and put him at the line. The closeout was a tough one. Almost was a foul anyway.
Almost was
you
a
certainly
foul.
didn't want to foul on a 3. If it went in, then the Wizards have a chance to get the lead. But sailed out of bounds. Now 9.6 remaining in the game, and the Rockets are up by 3 as they take one of their 2 remaining timeouts. And another sort of change this year are out of bounds plays in the last 2 minutes of games, where coaches' challenges now are the only method to review these kinds of situations now beginning this season. The coaches' challenge, the only way to review the out-of-bounds calls with under 2 minutes left. This is no longer an automatic trigger for the officials. They have taken the officials out of this situation, completely removed them from the process. But in order to do so, in order to challenge this, you have to have a timeout remaining. Perhaps if the Wizards had a timeout remaining, maybe they probably look at it to see if Christopher got a fingertip on it or not, just to give themselves a little hope and prayer. But that is a change this season, and there are a lot of people who follow the league who think that this particular rule change will affect the game pretty drastically with coaches' challenges, i.e. they're not going to want to use their challenge early in the game if they have to use it to review an out-of-bounds play in a tight game with under 2 minutes left. And the Wizards are trying to foul Armoni Brooks, and the officials finally blow the whistle.
Yeah, as expected, Armoni Brooks, the shooter on the floor. Coach Silas gets him the basketball. But the one thing that's so beautiful about this situation, Coach Silas and Coach Lucas and Hornacek, when they go into practice and train, they can't simulate these situations where the fans are screaming and yelling, and, it's a possession-by-possession game. So great experience for our guys. Armoni Brooks with a chance to ice this game.
Yep, this needs 1 and gets it. The Rockets are down 103-95. With about 7:50 to go in this game, they have since outscored the Wizards 28-16.
Sengun has been electric tonight. I mean, he does so many little things well, and you put the basketball in his hands and let him go.
Offensive rebound, and the game's over anyway.
Well, it paid off.
And
that's the free throw miss that paid off.
And we are going to avoid the dreaded preseason overtime game. Nobody wants that. Like, no one. Trust me, Stephen Silas does not want to see this game go to overtime. But, hey, it's been fun. Rockets had the upper hand early. Wizards kind of controlled the game for the next 2 or so quarters, and a big push late by this group led by Josh Christopher. And Rockets are, even though it doesn't really mean anything, they're going to come out with a win here in their preseason opener in their first game back at Toyota Center in this new era. So I guess there is something for that. And the people that came out here tonight, Ryan, they had a good time. This was a fun game.
Yes, it was.
So Kevin Porter Jr. goes off for 25 points. Again, 5 made threes for him. Had some moments from Jalen Green and Alperen Şengün, and obviously Josh Christopher Lake, Garuba with the three. So the 19-year-old stepping up in a variety of ways in this game. But I think we're going to have a lot of high-scoring games this season as we go to the floor. Kaylee Griffin standing by.
Thanks, Greg. I'm joined by Josh Christopher and a preseason nail-biter in your NBA debut. Take me through the emotions you felt here today, especially getting on the floor here for the first time.
Just wanting to win, knowing I had an opportunity to come play along with all the other guys and just to win a ball game. And it's the first time we've been out here. First time I've been out here, so just to give a nice crowd a good win.
11 points in your NBA debut, all in that fourth quarter when it was coming down the stretch. I know you personally been working on your three-point shot. What was it like to see it translate now in NBA action?
It felt really good. I mean, that's been a main focal point in my progression is shooting that three ball. So to be able to step on the NBA court your first game and knock them down in a game like this is everything for me. So just got to keep on building.
Seeing you guys at training camp, this young group has such a strong bond off the floor. Now you're continuing to build that chemistry on the court. It's early, but how have you seen that chemistry translate on the court so far?
I think stuff like this, going through hardships, having to fight it out, that builds chemistry when you have to fight through adversity with your teammates. So I think winning will build a better bond too, of course.
And for the first time in front of these fans here at Toyota Center, you weren't here last season, but they weren't here for much of last year. What was it like to be in front of this crowd for the first time?
Amazing, honestly, amazing.
Josh, thank you so much for the time. Congratulations on the win. The Rockets get this win, first preseason game of the season. We'll send it back to Craig.
All right, thank you, Kaylee. Exciting one tonight. The Rockets win their preseason opener here at home, 125-119. Again, the theme coming out of Media Day on into training camp that this was going to be a fun team. That was a fun game.
Oh, we definitely have a fun team. Like I said, there's nothing like rewarding your home fans with that first win, getting it off your back. There's going to be a lot of film to watch, defensively letting guys walk down the lane. And then once we tighten up a little too much fouling, but the guys work, they're exciting. They are selfless, which makes me more excited. I feel like offensively ahead of schedule.
Good early start for the Rockets. Great closing kick. They win it tonight over the Wizards, 125-119. We'll be right back.